Hey everybody, it's Steve again. How's everybody doing today? It's the 2023. For those of you who are time stamping, it is 12/26. Hey, if you like this video, press like. You don't have to press like, press share, because I'm sure that there probably is somebody that you know that might want to hear this video and hear these actual facts. Shocking. I read today and I've done some research on this, so yeah, I'm just not blowing the smoke here. 77% of the eligible male and females who are able to serve in the military will not qualify. They can't meet standards. That's even before they get to boot camp. That's even before they will not be allowed to join. 11% of those is because the fact is they're overweight. So 77% of individuals can't join the military. We are at record lows in all our services except for one, the Marine Corps. Marine Corps met their goal. Everybody else is way off. They are doing everything in their power to get people to actually join up. They are actually unheard of freaking bonuses. They're actually offering total benefit packages, include education, healthcare, whatever, after you get out. So, but there's nobody wanting to serve in the military, and I kind of find that depressing, because the fact is that and everybody knows I'm a veteran, but and I joined voluntarily. Right now we have an all voluntary um, military, but here's the thing: is that when you go and you even voluntarily you still have to pass standards. A recruiter is going to look at you. He has to look at your background. So in other words, you got to look at your background. Do you have any felonies? Do you have any drug related crimes? Do you have, and then they have to produce a waiver, which has to go up to Marine Corps, to the Marine Corps, headquarters Marine Corps, and they have to assign you a waiver. Same thing with all services. So in other words, they're going to waive that requirement for you to get in. Some individuals I've seen get in uh, multiple waivers, but they're not guaranteed. So 70% of these people would not qualify, couldn't even get a waiver to go in. 11% of overweight. Now, let me explain to you what overweight means. A recruiter, in his opinion, he will look at the individual who's actually going to sign the contract, and he will decide if in 13 weeks, I'm just using the Marine Corps example, in 13 weeks, can we get this person in shape enough to pass height and weight standards? In 13 weeks. 11% of these individuals are weeded out because they're too obese to serve. They're too obese even to go to boot camp. You're too obese to even go. And we're not even gonna go into the just the general attitude of individuals who want to or don't want to serve in the military. But let me ask, there's some questions that I ask myself, and it comes up. Maybe you guys can help me answer this. Okay, how many of those individuals that you see on these protests, they're protesting everything. They're protesting everything, standing up for their civil rights. I have no problem with you doing that or whatever. However, the fact is, you all want these individual rights that have been handed down to you, but you're not willing to fight for them. You're willing to walk out on the street. You're willing to walk out on the street in mass, burn buildings, break windows, put the general population at risk for your rights, but you won't do anything about them. How many protesters who actually go down and protest the Constitution? What do they want to? Now, freedom to assemble is actually a right. I promote it. I like that because when people show up in numbers, things get moved, they get looked at. However, the fact is that if you want to go protest, if you want to go buck the system, if you want to stand up for your rights, there's one thing that you can actually possibly do: be ready to defend those rights. How can we start that? Well, number one, how many of you are registered to vote? How many voted? How many individuals, how many males individuals have completed per law the exam or put your name in registered for the draft or registered for the military. How many of you done that? So, in other words, what I'm saying is that people insist on their rights. I have no problem with that. Here's the problem is that if you're not willing to maintain those rights, and you're not willing to produce the methods that are there already to ensure your rights, then why the hell I want to listen to you? One of my main things is that I hear people all the time bitching, moaning about certain things locally, nationally, everybody, whatever. And then I sit back and I listen, and then before I even entertain a conversation, I'll be like, "Okay, did you vote?" Well, there you go. Well, yeah, I did. I voted. Good. Did you vote? Who'd you vote for? I mean, you don't really want to ask that question. Say, well, you voted. Okay, but how many people do you know that feel the same way you do? Just didn't even bother to register. Didn't even register to vote. Matter of fact, I'll guarantee you, almost 90% of the individuals who are given you're even given off time from your work to go vote. All you got to tell your employer, say, you know what, I'm going to go vote. All right, man, take the rest of the afternoon. All right, man, take an hour and a half. You ain't got to go to your lunchtime. You just tell your employer, hey, I need to go vote. Go, man. They can't deny your right to vote. So my question is that how many individuals are protesting and not even willing to defend their rights, but also not even willing to participate in a system that ensures their rights? I've said that before. I'm sorry. I digress. So with the military, currently, right now, as we speak, we are down to the nut cutting. We don't have enough people. We have less people now than we'd had before World War One. This is the lowest numbers we've ever had in the military. But however, citizens still want to be protected. Individuals still want to exercise their rights. Individuals still want us to do our job in protecting the nation. To protect your rights, you're not even willing to vote for, and you're not even willing to participate in. And you're right. There are many wars that we can question. There are many wars that we can whine, moan, complain about, or whatever. But here's my thing: the only one that can whine and complain about it is the ones that are actually there. The only ones that actually complain about it and actually know exactly how they got reamed on some of their enlistments or how they can tell you, and they have every right to speak. Every veteran has a right to speak. Because a veteran, I'm telling you this, a veteran, when you go into the military, if you ain't bitching and your NCO sees that you're not bitching about something, he knows something's wrong. It's just the way we bitch about everything, but we end up going to get the job done. But the thing about it is that we don't have enough people. Right now, give an example. Right now, we've had over 100 attacks on our embassies, on our forts, our bases in Iraq. 100. Today came out where there was actually some seriously wounded. So we actually bombed them. Let me ask you a question. You got Joe Smuckatelli over here. He leaves home. He goes to Iraq. They're freaking mortaring his ass every night. Luckily, he didn't get hit. But you're not going to protect his ass while he's over there in Iraq. What you're going to do is well, we shouldn't be over there in the first place. Well, okay. What did we learn from Iraq the first time? Whenever you let radical extremism, where you let it prosper, then it's going to affect the United States. We're doing a preemptive. We're keeping Iraq democratic. And it's a shame we have to do that, but we have to. Now, let me address the other issues. I see all these people, these soy boys, and I hate to say it, but you know what? I've had enough of you boys. Talk like a man, stand like a man, walk like a man. Okay, these are some of the things that you carry throughout your life. To where the fact is, everybody knows that you are a man. In woman's terms, every woman thinks that we're stupid, but that's just the way we are. Man's brain is so simple that people can't even understand it. But the fact of the matter is that be proud that you're a man. What happened to being proud that I'm a guy? I'm proud to be a man. I look like a man. I walk like a man. I do man shit. Through the process of a young man growing up, he should be able to learn his own lessons. He has to learn how to socialize. He has to learn how to defend himself. He has to learn how to defend others. And he has to be there for other people to help them in their time of need. That's what a man should aspire to be. You don't have to aspire to be a millionaire, even though everybody would love to be a millionaire. But the fact is that you probably won't achieve that. But what can you do every day to make sure that you are toxic masculinity? I want toxic masculinity. I want guys around me that I know I can count on no matter what. I want men around me who have a brain and think like me so we can actually solve a problem. I want men who are man enough to pick up their end of the couch, so to speak. Now, somewhere along the lines, we have gotten to the point to where, you know what, we're supposed to take care of women. Yes, chivalry is something that you're taught as a young man. You open doors. You say, yes, ma'am. You say, no, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You do this out of respect. I still do it today, and I'm older and have people I say yes or to. But the fact is that I'm respecting your space and I respect you. That's the way we do it down here. But the simple fact is that we don't show respect to our elders anymore, and we don't show respect to each other, and we don't even show respect to ourselves. Be who you are. Because during that process, you're going to learn things. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do stupid crap. You're going to do things or whatever. However, the fact is you learn from that mistake, move on. Say your prayers, say, Lord, please forgive me. I'm stupid. I was stupid, Lord. But the good Lord put you through that because the fact is he wanted you to learn the lesson. And you learned the lesson. That's what ain't never going to happen again because I know better now. But let's get back to the male mentality because the fact is that there's so many males. I ain't going. No, you don't want me. You don't want me out there. You don't want me on there. You got dang right I don't want you out there. I don't want you to be watching my back. I do not want you to be the person responsible for doing something stupid that gets other people hurt. But you're going to rely on it. Well, I'm just going to get people hurt or whatever. Good. Your walking point for the rest. Your walking point till I get freaking tired. Because if anybody's going to go, it's going to be you. And I hate to be that way. People who've been in combat understand that. Because you ante up and kick in. Because you've got a group of individuals there that are counting on you. And you actually have to step up and do your job. Simple. You don't do your job, people get hurt. After you see that a couple of times, then you know what? You want to rethink your whole brain housing group because the fact is that that's what it comes down to. Women, I'm sorry, but you know what? If they initiate the draft, it's because we don't have enough men to go. So if you have a soy boy friend, he says, I ain't going. Look at this way. Guess what? He refuses to go. He's not going. They still got to fill that quota. Guess what? That's where the women come in. Because you know what? If soy boys run or try to hide, guess what? They're going to go to women. They're going to start because they don't put people in those positions. So women the thing that you're supposed the thing that you're supporting, like having they can be transgender, they can be LGBT, all the LGBTQ, ABCDs or whatever. I don't know what they are anymore. I really don't give a shit what you are. I really don't give a crap. I judge a character is better than that. And there's some people I just choose not to hang around with. But the thing is that they don't understand that once one person runs, one person takes off and doesn't answer that call for the draft, then they go to the next one in line. What they do with this individual, boom. This is the age of technology. Okay? They will know where you're at. They will know where you take a shit. They will know where you eat. They know everything about you, and it's only just got to come around your ass up. And if that happens, if you are a draft dodger and you're caught, you're still going to have to be required to go to your military service. And I guarantee you, would you like to go into your unit who is getting ready to deploy, who are training to deploy, and go with that unit with a badge on you say, I'm a draft dodger? I laugh because people say, well, there's no retribution. Let me tell you this right now. If you are in the military, I don't care what branch of service, and if you're not doing your job, if everybody else is having to ante up and kick in because you can't produce, you can't do your job or whatever, let me tell you something. You will get a visit in the middle of the night. You will get a visit, a friendly little visit, letting you know not only is your life hell now with the drill instructors or drill sergeants, guess what? It's going to get worse because we're going to be on your ass. There's a fire watch on watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And guess what? You are going to not only be tore up mentally throughout the day, but guess what? Wait till you get home at night because the other people are going to take over. This is called handling it within unit. Because you're only strong as your weakest link. You're only strong as your weakest link. And if you got Joe Smuckatelli over here who's gay, who actually he can't pick up his weapon because he's nailed, if you have that, okay, then that's going to change. You are going to have to change for your environment. But I go on about that because people say, no, I take all these pills. I won't qualify. I don't qualify. I got all this kind of crap or whatever. I said, what? I don't care. It's up to the doctor. I don't care. He'll walk in there and say, okay, we're going into the military. You're living a whole new life. You don't need this shit. You don't need these pills. You don't need this shit. You don't need that shit. But what they do have is an ample supply of malaria pills. And every veteran who knows me, they gave us malaria pills for freaking Iraq and Afghanistan. Only thing they did was keep people up and have nightmares. I'd stop taking them. NJP if you stop taking them. But I said, you know what, I got to get some sleep. But the audacity of our youth to stand up to a government who has given them every opportunity, if they'll take it, to succeed. And say, you're not going to go. I can understand you're not wanting to go. You're not wanting to go be put in harm's way. But this is your life. This is the way what people have done before you to make sure that you have the rights that you have today. Somebody had to pay the price, and you're not willing to. I have a word for that. That's a coward. You can be scared. You can be shitload scared. You can be, matter of fact, there's not a combat veteran that I don't know who will never, after right back, I scared shitless. They will tell you I scared shitless, but they got through it. They got over it. Because the fact is that they were well trained. They had buddies that looked out for them. And they created a bond with them individuals saying, you know what, nothing bad's going to hurt you today. Nothing bad's going to hurt me. You watch me, I'll watch you. In other words, if I'm doing something stupid, tell me. Yeah, scream. I don't care what you do to me, what to get the point of it. Do whatever you have to do to get me back in line. Because here's the deal. All these boys and women who say they're not going to go and they're going to do all this or whatever, that's a good mind frame to have right now, because the fact is it's not happening right now. But I'm going to tell you, there's no worse feeling in the world than a man possibly can experience. than not doing your job and somebody else getting hurt. Saying you refused, but you put somebody in your stead to get hurt. So you're assuming that I owe you something. I don't owe you a damn thing. Least of all, I don't owe you to go fight for you. Hell, I don't even like you now. Why the hell I want to go fight for you? But this is the lot that we're actually being dealt. I feel sorry for drill instructors and drill sergeants right now because their work's cut out for them. Because the training level, you can train the training level. I mean, you can train the training level or whatever, so people will pass or whatever. But when you do that, every NCO who's training these individuals know they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. Because the fact is they couldn't live up to the standards in boot camp. We had to change standards to lower the standards. So guess what? These standards are there for a reason, because the fact is that we know that you're actually operational ready to go into combat, or you're operational ready to go to do your job. There ain't no cell phones in Iraq. You can't be on a cell phone in Iraq. You can't be on a cell phone. Some people do or whatever if they're in a secure place. However, the fact is, if you're out in the field or you're out in a fob or a cob somewhere, guess what? No cell phones. Because they can hone in on shit and got you dialed up right there. Because you wanted to talk to Susie Rottencrotch back home. He's probably dating Jody. You don't know about it, but you'll find out about 6 months or whatever. Then you're going to be all heartbroken shit. Then you're going to have to go through a whole damn set of different set of problems to make you perform. I guess my message is simple. This war is no joke. Individuals in America have no idea what these individuals are going through in Gaza or Israel. They can't even fathom the destruction. They can't even fathom what it is to see human life being taken in that fashion. They cannot even fathom, because it's on CNN, it's on Fox News. They barely cover it, but guess what? They'll show you a clip, a 30-second clip to describe what's going on over there. When those individuals have to live it all day. Just like us veterans, we had to live it every day, all day. It didn't go away. So you want me to support your rights. You want me to support you in all of your crazy ideas that you're female, but you want to be a male. Okay, so what do I call it? I don't know. Pronouns, you know what? Here's my idea on pronouns, okay? Well, it's they. They. If you don't like that, you damn sure ain't gonna like the next thing I call you. Man, I'm in they. I am a woman. I am a woman. I see these clips. I am a woman. I am a woman. I am a woman. No, you're not, you bitch. Either way. Either way you go. Bitch. Any transgender man. We are losing masculinity in this country, and the fact is it's supposed to be okay. Okay. But women can say, well, I don't need a man. I can do man shit. Well, they can say that shit all they want to, but the fact of the matter is, whenever it's time to do man shit, once them ponytails come out, I break a nail. I can't do it. I thought you was a man. You can do everything I can do. But see, what they don't understand is you may pass some standard test that you prepared for all week or whatever to get yourself mentally, physically available to pass this test. But see, here's the difference you don't get. Is the fact is that, can you do it every day for a year? Can you put yourself through that much stress for a year? And that is where you get your training from boot camp, to be able to handle these types of situations every day, twice a day, and even on Sundays. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. America is about to get hit in the mouth. The pieces of the chess pieces have already been moved. you would be naive to think that all these things don't have come into that they're not all in, that they're just not sporadically happening. There's a plan, and you have to understand it. You know what? How many countries are we friends with now? Let me tell you the friends we have, our allies. Our allies are the ones that we continue to pay off. Ukraine, for example. We're sending all this money to Ukraine, and guess what? Spring offensive, they didn't go nowhere. Show me something. I'm spending all this money. Show me that you're at least trying winning the war somewhere. I guess the Russians, I don't know. But the thing about it is that we have to put our priorities straight as Americans. There are going to have to be people who are willing to fight and die for this country. There's going to have to be people that are willing to fight and die to maintain the standard of living that others enjoy so much. Freedom is not free. You have to have individuals who are willing to go and fight for those freedoms. And if you do not have a society. Mao Zedong said it one time. So that they would never invade America. And it was asked, why won't you ever invade? He said, because there's a gun behind every tree and bush and blade of grass. That right there was scaring off some of that idea right there was just keeping governments from actually deciding to try to do something against the United States. Now, what's the answer there? Well, you know what? They're going to mass surrender. They're going to mass surrender. I mean, we just got to suit up and show up, and guess what? 70% of the population is just going to give up. And that's what the numbers say. So I don't understand it, and I can't get it. And as old as I am, still, I look at, you know what, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to stand up and fight for myself and the ones around me. And I get to pick and choose. Because the fact is that I'm actually in this, I'm going to have to be this. I'm going to have to be in this by myself because no one willing to stand up. They can't even vote. So there's nobody going to be there with me. So here's my options. Do I risk my life to save my neighbor, to save the individual down there who's made enemies or hates me because of the fact that I speak up? Do I really want to help those people? Or do I want to protect the individuals who's got my back and who will be willing to fight with me? I don't know. What do you think I should do? I'm not coming across as some toxic masculine male. I don't even know what that means. I know how to be a man. That's it. I was taught to be a man. I was taught to be proud of being a man. I was taught how to do man shit. Men do shit that women can't even freaking fathom. They can't even understand what we're all about or whatever. Well, it's very simple. We got simple brains. We do something once, we fuck up. We don't do it again. We learn. But this generation that we have now and previous generations, they're about to get hit in the mouth. Because all of this stuff that they have right now that they demand, it's not going to be available to them anymore. All of America's effort will have to go into the war effort. And you can choose one that you can participate or can't. If you're not participating, guess what? You're SOL, because the fact is that we are actually going to have to come to the mentality that we have to fight for our rights. And if we do not fight for our rights, they get taken away. Simple as that. Last thing. I feel sorry for these individuals because the fact is one reason. They've never had to fight for anything in their life. Everything has been handed to them. I don't know where we started overprotecting our children. I come from Gen X or whatever, baby boom, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm 60 years old, so whatever you want to call it. I don't even keep up with that crap anymore. But here's the deal. I used to live outside. I lived outside. I get up in the morning, eat my breakfast, and guess what? I got outside. Not because I wanted to. I got locked out. Because so that way Mama could get her stuff done around the house. She couldn't have her stuff done. We'd be laying all over the couch and watching video games. Well, no, get out and do something. As a kid, I learned more. I learned more common sense as a kid running barefooted through the woods, making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, and learning from my environment. We don't have that today. Our overprotected kids and parents are at fault here because they want to bow down. They want to give everything that they didn't have. Well, it's got to the point where guess what? You need to start taking stuff away for them to actually grow up and start being adults. And if they can't be an adult, you have to feel like you have to shelter them. You haven't done your job. A man and woman's job, okay, even in nature, at some time they got to leave the damn nest. And they got to know when they leave that damn nest, guess what? You come back to this nest because, we moved on. That nest is going to be gone. But sometime you got to go be on your own. You can't depend on anybody else. Guess what? I know a lot of people, we didn't have anybody to depend on. So guess what? We'd make it or break it ourselves. Yes, that meant doing jobs we didn't really want to do. Yes, that meant doing 2 jobs if we had to. That means putting food on the table for our family, for our kids that we actually created in this world or whatever. And we never thought during those days, at least where I come from, never thought about aborting a baby. Maybe that was my religion, whatever, but I still can't make sense of it. It's not, well, it's my body. Yeah, it's your body, but God created this. So in other words, God gave you the greatest gift where you can actually have babies. And guess what? Now you want to get rid of them? It's not God's plan. It's going to be tough. Yeah. It's not payback because you sin it. No. It is, as I say, it is a blessing. And you know what? You should treat it as a blessing. And you should own up to be a parent and learn as a parent. But that's my opinion. The abortion thing goes back and forth or whatever. I don't care. I'm not a woman. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do because I don't ultimately have to make that decision. I don't have to ultimately face judgment on that. So I don't need this to be all negative, but I need people to start taking a look at some of these points. And I believe there's a lot of people that'll agree with me on some of these points. The fact is that if anything bad happens right now, we're going to get hit. Pearl Harbor was nothing. 9/11 was nothing. Nothing. So need to put our money where our mouth is, I guess. And we need to start telling our politicians that, look, you know what? We need to start preparing for the worst case scenario. What happens if we go to war? A lot of people say, oh, that'll never happen here. Never happen here. One thing the military taught me, I never say it's never going to happen here. What I say is, what if it does? Am I ready for it in the worst case scenario? That's it. Thank you guys. Please share this video. And you don't have to like it. But anyway, just share it so there might be other people so we can spread the word to where maybe we can wake some people up. Wake some people up to the fact is, you know what, we still can't rest on our laurels. We still have to remain vigilant at all times as a country because there are 30 people out there that want to kill us. There are people out there that want to kill us just because we're Americans. And believe it or not, they're getting away with it. And believe it or not, sometimes you just got to ante up and kick in, man. You guys be good, be careful, keep powder dry.